context of our efforts to accelerate the affordability, availability of quality cancer treatment.
President Tinubu's National Health Sector Renewal received boost as Minister of Health secures concession from UK cancer treatment equipment manufacturer. Lawmakers visit Fuje Medium Security Custodial Center after the 20 inmate pays.
A lot of Muslims are left behind because they don't want to get involved in things that are not Sharia compliant.
Islamic Cooperative Societies brainstorm on financial inclusion, 6 ways to float, engage, maintain non-interest microfinance. Hello and welcome. This is Gathering on Nta News24. We are live in Abuja. I am Comfort Fashion. The Nigerian Army authorities ended another round of indigenous Nigerian language training in Abuja for 160 officers and men. The local language proficiency will enable the troops to gather intelligence while improving the aspects of operations. Omenka Amarachuku completes the report.
A batch of 160 soldiers of the Nigerian Army concluded training on indigenous Nigerian languages. The training is one in a series meant to increase the local language proficiency of the troops.
Because language is like any other thing, particularly computer. If you don't practice, it goes away. You must continuously practice, and that's what we encourage them to do.
The goal is to promote troop integration in their area of operations, especially intelligence gathering.
This course, therefore, focuses on Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba, equipping you with essential tools to engage with the local environment professionally and effectively.
The Indigenous Language Proficiency Program is part of efforts to reposition the Army to meet contemporary internal security challenges. In Abuja, Omenka Amarachuku, Nta News.
Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Party, has secured an important concession from a cancer treatment equipment manufacturer, Elector. In the United Kingdom, as part of President Bola Tinubu's National Health Sector Renewal and Investment Initiative, the coordinating minister made this known during a tour of Elector's factory and corporate headquarters in Crawley, United Kingdom, as part of negotiations for enhanced cooperation in health infrastructure investments in Nigeria.
And with other manufacturers of cancer equipment, we're going to work with them closely to ensure that Nigeria gets the best possible deals in terms of cancer treatment equipment. I was very impressed to see the attention to detail, the quality of the product, the range of the products, but also to know that Elector is willing to support us as we try to rebuild the flood-ravaged University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital was devastated, and in particular its cancer center, where the latest cancer treatment equipment that they had was flooded and made unusable, resulting in Nigerians who were on treatment for cancers having to go to Lagos or to Sokoto, and some of them, in fact, going backwards in terms of their cancer care. We now know that within the next couple of months, the cancer center is likely to be back up and serving its clients.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Special Needs and Equal Opportunity, Muhammad Abba Isa, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with a non-governmental organization to support wounded soldiers and persons with disabilities. This initiative is part of efforts to ensure that wounded soldiers and PWDs receive the necessary support to reintegrate into the society.
We signed the MOU with the SSA. The reason for this is to bring in our program. We have a fantastic program for people living with disability, and we want to empower them with skills, because we believe that in Nigeria now, skills is what they need to really be empowered to take care of themselves and also their family.
Decided to look after the wounded soldiers. Invictus looks after them, rehabilitates them during by sports, while we want to just sort of upskill, and maybe if they want to change employment, so we help them to do that. So that's why Braveheart is here.
The partnership is expected to provide access to healthcare, education, and economic empowerment opportunities, ultimately improving the lives of wounded soldiers and PWDs. Nigerians have been asked to spare a thought for the welfare of less privileged persons in society to cushion socio-economic challenges and complement government's efforts. In this regard, wife of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and member representing Tarka Boko Federal Constituency, Regina Akome, stated this during a visit to the Kuje Medium Security Custodial Center, where she facilitated the release of 20 inmates by paying their fines. She urged other inmates to be submissive to reformatory processes.
Because you have been persecuted, don't be ashamed of yourself because you are here, but be remorseful.
Regina Akume also identified with internally displaced persons at an IDP camp in Abuja, assuring them of government's commitment to their safe resettlement. An FCT High Court has granted the application by the FCT Commissioner of Police to withdraw previously filed notice of discontinuance in the case concerning tussle over the leadership of the Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria. Takwe reports that the notice of discontinuance was being withdrawn to allow for the filing of a fresh application.
The resumption of hearing came up at High Court 21 in Kubwa. The case was heard before Justice Ann Akobi following reassignment by the Chief Judge of the FCT. It is a 3-count charge of alleged impersonation of Dr. Jamilu Isa Yankwanshi as president alongside members of the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Project Management of Nigeria, CIPMN, by the defendants. The defendants, identified as Harry Ifeanyi Mbadiwe, Adewale Bashir, Emmanuel Olabode, Akin Babalola, Dr. Mojisola Mimiabu, Mohammed Suleiman, Hajara Yusuf, and Ayuba Shanu were all absent during the arraignment. 2 prior judgments and orders of the court had removed the defendants from the leadership of the CIPMN with an interlocutory injunction from the Federal High Court barring the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment from dissolving CIPMN's Governing Council or appointing Dr. Mojisola Mimiabu as the sole administrator of the institute. Justice Akobi granted the withdrawal request after the prosecution counsel, Chukwuekeka Maxwell, explained that the notice of discontinuance was being withdrawn to allow for the filing of a fresh application.
We thought it would have been tidy enough to just withdraw the suit, then we come with a fresh application, because since the defendants were aware that the notice has been served. So if we had gone through that route, they might come with a counter and so many Supreme Court decisions to delay and frustrate this matter.
The nominal complainant, Dr. Jamilu Isa Yankwanshi, and his counsel, Toyin Shitu, speak on the court's decision.
Even during the review of the case, the same charge was actually established beyond reasonable doubt by the police, which is the reason why they have to now refile the matter. So we are very grateful to the Inspector General of Police for intervening in this matter.
Yes, I am very well satisfied with it because the due process needs to be followed, and also if the right procedure is not being followed, we may go on appeal and all those sorts. So we want our case to follow due process. So that
The prosecution is expected to file new charges in the coming days, after which a date will be set for the continuation of the proceedings. In Abuja, Tokpe Alabi, NTA News.
Sultan of Sokoto and President General Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, has urged the Muslim Ummah to start looking for the new moon of Jumada Thaniya on Sunday, 1st December 2024, which is equivalent to 29th day of Jumada Ula. This is contained in a statement signed by the Chairman, Sultanate Council, Professor Sambo Wali Junaid. It calls on Muslims to report the sighting of the new crescent of Jumada Thaniya to the nearest district or village head for onward communication to the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, for official declaration. Millions of Muslims in Nigeria are trapped in a financial dilemma, forced to choose between high-interest loans that contradict their faith or financial inclusion that hinders economic progress. Ibrahim Danhamidu reports on a pivotal seminar in Abuja to create and maintain non-interest microfinance services and foster financial inclusion.
The financial challenges faced by Muslims in Nigeria have been a long-standing issue, with many struggling to access financial services that align with their faith. Experts gather to discuss financial inclusion and solutions to Muslims in Nigeria who face challenges, forced to operate in a financial system dominated by conventional banking practices that often involve high interest rates.
The industries in which we operate is basically as if we are working against the tide. When you swim in the ocean or river and you are swimming against the tide, it's heavy work.
A lot of Muslims are left behind because they don't want to get involved in things that are not Sharia compliant.
Experts emphasized the need for Islamic financial institutions and cooperative societies to provide Sharia-compliant financial services that cater to the unique needs of Muslims.
The Security and Exchange Commission, alhamdulillah, had recently approved our 117 Halal Mutual Fund, which has an entry opportunity of just 10,000 naira. So it allows individuals to participate in the investment environment.
They called for greater collaboration between regulatory bodies, Islamic financial institutions, and cooperative societies to promote financial inclusion and economic empowerment among Muslims in Nigeria.
What other benefits do you want? You borrow whatever you borrow, you pay back. And that's enough benefit for anybody who knows. Many people today do not even have the ability to pay back, and then you now charge them interest of 20-something percent, 30-something% to return what they do not even have the capacity to return in the first instance.
In Abuja, I'm Ibrahim Hamidu, NTA News.
Kogi State Government has highlighted the strategic appointment of Deputy Governor Elder Joel Salifu Oyibo as Chairman of the State Human Capital Development Council, HCDC. Governor Ahmad Usman Ododo made the appointment as part of his administration's commitment to fostering human capital development for economic growth and prosperity. A statement by the State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Femi Fanwo, emphasizes that the government is focused on transforming its abundant human resources into a key driver of development. Kingsley Fanwo expresses that the appointment of the Deputy Governor to lead the Human Capital Development Council aligns with Governor Ododo's vision of leveraging Kogi State's rich human capital as a tool for progress. Elder Joel Oyibo, with his background as a teacher and union leader, brings a wealth of experience to his critical role. He further noted that the administration's significant investments in education and skill development aims to position Kogi as a hub for capacity building and innovation. Fanwo also revealed that Kogi State is on track to make a historic commitment to education funding, proposing over 30% of its 2025 budget for the sector. Consequently, Fanwo highlighted recent initiatives aimed at boosting workers' welfare and efficiency, particularly by digitizing the state scholarship scheme and equipping youth with essential digital skills. This is the news at 11. Let's take a break. More news when we return. Stay with us. Moving on, Chief Tony Okocha has been sworn in as the chairman of the Rivers State All Progressives Congress APC. Jenny Bassi reports that this was at the party's congress held in Port Harcourt.
Chief Tony Okocha emerged chairman of the Rivers State APC unopposed. The new ESCO is made up of chairman, vice chairman, secretary, assistant secretary, legal advisor, treasurer, assistant treasurer, and others. Dr. Adoyi Omale chaired the 7-man electoral committee, while Achin Wobodu swore in the incoming APC chairman and committee members. Delegates for the Congress came from the 23 local government areas of the state, with candidates vying for various positions in the party. National Chairman APC Dr. Umar Ganduje, who was represented by the National Vice Chairman South-South, Victor Gaidom, commended delegates for their commitment, describing the outcome of the exercise as credible and acceptable.
I want to thank all of you for your commitment, your tenacity, and resoluteness to stand by the All Progressive Congress. Our party, the All Progressive Congress, will report back to Abuja, and then the process of reclaiming the Rivers State Government House will start from today.
In his acceptance speech, Chief Tony Okocha thanked the delegates for the confidence reposed on him and pledged to carry members along in his administration, even as he promised to deliver President Bola Tinubu come 2027 elections.
In the year 2027, God keeping us alive, we will have election in Rivers State. And our target is to help us to ensure that APC takes the reins of governance.
Members of the Electoral Umpire INEC, led by the Rivers State Resident Electoral Commissioner, were there to monitor the exercise. In Port Harcourt, Jenny Bassi, Nta News.
Ambrose Ali University Alumni Association worldwide wants Nigeria to take advantage of the diverse ethnicities in the country to build a strong, virile nation. This was at the 3rd annual lecture series of the association held in Abuja. Sulaiman Abdul Wahab reports.
It was another gathering to take stock of how far the association has progressed. Leadership of the association is happy with the cooperation among members and the feats achieved so far. They are, however, concerned about the state of their alma mater, urged the state governor to come to their aid of Ambrose Ali University by prioritizing its rehabilitation.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, to look into the issue of training and retraining of teachers, of lecturers, of academic staff, non-academic staff, to improve their welfare, to improve the growth of the university.
Dwell on the gesture of His Excellency. He, towards the welfare, addressing the welfare of the good people of Edo State and also the staff of Ambrose Ali University. He has just donated 2 luxurious buses to convey staff from Ekpoma town to the campus, to and fro.
Guest lecturer Dr. Collins Aimoine stressed the need for proper dress code that reflects African culture. He urged universities to continue promoting cultural values in students, building on lessons learned from their parents.
But what has happened now is that these modern young musicians who go naked to play their music, who may wear earring and all sorts of vices, they attack and parts of what have eroded our culture and tradition.
I appreciate most of our alumni members that are doing well in their various fields of endeavor, whether in the public or private sector, as well as notable Nigerians who are also doing well in terms of human empowerment, community building and development.
Participants agreed that Nigeria has the potentials to become the first world country if emphases are placed on value reorientation. In Abuja, Suleiman Tabu Abdulwahab, Nta News.
Today marks the closing ceremony of the 2024 Nigeria-China Economic Expo. The events, which began 3 days ago, aimed to strengthen economic ties between Nigeria and China and provided a platform for both countries to explore new opportunities for cooperation and growth.
Is the quality assurance that the trade house tends to give to you, Nigerians, that if you take us to the trade house, we are able to ensure that all the necessary quality assurance that the Chinese market need, we're able to provide that for you.
While engaging in discussions, exhibitions and business-to-business meetings, participants emphasized the importance of strengthening economic ties between Nigeria and China.
And to Nigeria introduce our factory.
One step, one step. Now, beginning business. Second, have a plan.
We partner with investors from all over the world. We're seeing a lot of interest from China, and so we're very happy to be part of the China Trade and Economic and Trade Expo.
We've successfully brought the buyer and seller together. And apart from that, we were able to bring people that can add value.
The expo also featured various sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing and technology. The call on citizens to remain alive to their civic responsibility of determining who governs them towards advancing the development of the country was a central message at the kickoff of a peaceful coexistence and nation-building sensitization gathering in Abuja. The Samuel Eduvere Global Outreach Ministry organizer of the event believes that the country cannot achieve meaningful development without peace.
Violence of any form. We want peace completely and totally in Nigeria, in Africa, and in the whole world. We are the solution to that by ourselves. If we can keep our differences aside and allow peace to reign in our heart, the progress of my brother who is a Muslim is equally my progress. The progress of my brother who is a Christian is equally my progress.
If we must, as citizens, begin to think, seminars like this go a long way to conscientize us to make a U-turn, to have a greater country where we all live in peace and harmony.
Participants unanimously agreed that it is the responsibility of all to work towards the attainment of peace at all times in order to overcome some of the country's security challenges. Multifactorial needs assessments of people with disability in northeast Nigeria reveals multidimensional issues ranging from displacement, lack of access to public places, unemployment, to lack of access to proper health care. The findings were disclosed at a two-day seminar in Abuja, courtesy Disability Working Group. The stakeholder engagement x-rayed the place of disability inclusion in the protection sector and called for domestication of disability law, especially in northeast Nigeria.
Disability Working Group gathered together stakeholders, including government agencies and humanitarian partners, to look into critical issues of disability inclusions in programming and as well as giving support.
I really appreciate this because this came at a time where there are enormous needs, and there are a lot of complex humanitarian emergencies, and even at that, people with special needs are always being marginalized.
They are in the northeast, that is Borno, Yobe, and Adama to be very precise. So we have a lot of partners there. So that is why we started the pilot test there.
The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and sister agency, and including international organizations, were encouraged to collaborate and close gaps in mainstreaming PWD's challenges.
There are many pressing needs, especially when it comes to the discrimination of persons with disabilities and stigmatization in the area of health, education, empowerment, and other sectors.
Persons with visual impairment are facing a lot of challenges, most especially in the area of education and equally in the area of livelihood.
Key recommendations at the event include standardization of PWD laws, clustering according to impairments, ensure reach and visibility amongst others. And that concludes the news at 11 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Comfort Fashion.